The Thresians were known across the galaxy as a force no one could challenge. They moved like shadows, striking swiftly and taking control of planets before anyone could react. Entire star systems fell into their hands in a matter of hours. Their ships were vast, armed with weapons so powerful that even the largest planets feared them. Every intelligent species trembled at the thought of facing the Thresians. Their empire seemed unstoppable, and their reputation alone caused rulers to surrender before a single battle began. On the human world of Arden, most people had only heard stories of the Thresians. News from other galaxies seemed distant and unreal. Yet in the military command center, Commander Ryan studied reports with growing concern. He was a human, but he knew humans were underestimated by almost every alien species. While others feared the Thresians, Ryan saw an opportunity. Humans were small in number compared to the Empire, but they had courage, creativity, and determination, the qualities that could turn the tide if used correctly. Ryan's ship, the Valor, floated silently in orbit above Arden. It was not the largest human warship, but it was one of the fastest and most advanced ever built. The crew inside were ready for a challenge that would test every skill they had. Engineers adjusted power settings, weapons specialists checked their systems, and pilots reviewed flight maneuvers. Each crew member understood the danger, yet there was no hesitation. Humans were known for their ingenuity, and this mission would prove why. Meanwhile, in the far reaches of the galaxy, Thresian fleets moved with terrifying precision. Their warships glided through space, scanning for planets to conquer. Entire civilizations disappeared in days, their cities reduced to ruins. The Thresians believed no species could resist them. They had never encountered humans directly, and they dismissed the reports of human technology as insignificant. To them, humans were small, weak, and unimportant. This arrogance would soon be their first mistake. On Arden, Ryan called a meeting with his senior officers. He stood at the center of the room, calm but determined. "The galaxy is changing," he said. "The Thresians believe nothing can stop them. But humans have something no one else has. We have creativity, teamwork, and courage. They may have numbers and firepower, but we have strategy and brains. We can make a difference." Lieutenant Mara, his second in command, nodded. "We have analyzed Thresian drones captured near the edge of their territory. We found weaknesses in their shields and communication systems. If we use those weaknesses carefully, we can strike in ways they do not expect." Ryan smiled. "Exactly. We won't fight like the Thresians. We won't try to match their numbers or strength. We will fight smart, and we will show them that humans cannot be ignored." While humans prepared, the Thresians continued their expansion. Entire planets that had resisted were now under their control. The skies were darkened by fleets of warships, and cities were filled with fear. The Empire's officers praised their leaders, confident that nothing could stop them. They had never seen humans in battle, and they assumed that any species that did not surrender quickly was only delaying the inevitable. Back on the Valor, the crew trained relentlessly. Pilots practiced maneuvers that could outsmart larger ships. Engineers tested experimental weapons designed to exploit Thresian technology. Every day, the humans became more skilled, more prepared, and more determined. They knew the challenge ahead was dangerous, but the thought of standing against the galaxy's most feared empire filled them with courage. Ryan often walked through the ship, speaking with crew members. "Remember," he said, "we may be small, but intelligence is more powerful than sheer size. Every move we make must be smart, every attack precise. We can change the galaxy, not by force alone, but by using our minds and hearts." The human world watched silently, unaware of the storm that was approaching. In a few days, the Valor would leave orbit and head into Thresian space. What awaited them was dangerous and unknown. Yet for the first time, a glimmer of hope shone across the galaxy. A single human warship, filled with brave minds and courageous hearts, was about to challenge an empire that had dominated the stars for centuries. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the Thresians prepared to strike again, unaware that humans were not what they expected. The Valor floated in orbit, ready for departure. Commander Ryan walked through the corridors, observing his crew. Everyone moved with purpose, yet there was a quiet tension. No one had faced the Thresians directly before. No one had challenged the empire that ruled countless star systems with ease. But Ryan believed humans had a secret advantage: the ability to think differently. In the ship's lab, engineers studied Thresian drones captured from the edge of occupied space. The drones were advanced, with energy shields and rapid weapons. Humans had never seen technology like this before. Yet, the engineers were confident. Small adjustments and clever hacks could turn these machines' strengths into weaknesses. "Look here," said Ensign Caro, pointing at the drone's energy core. "If we disrupt this field, their shields will fail for a few seconds. That is enough time for our weapons to hit critical systems." Ryan leaned over the console. "Good. Every advantage counts. We cannot face their fleets head-on, but if we strike carefully, we can make a difference." Meanwhile, the Thresians continued their campaign. Planet after planet fell without resistance. Cities burned, leaders surrendered, and entire species were forced to live under strict Thresian rule. In their eyes, the humans were insignificant, a species far too small and slow to challenge them. Their intelligence officers reported strange attacks by humans, but they dismissed them as minor irritations. No one had ever stopped the Thresians, so why would humans be any different? On the Valor, Ryan called a meeting with his crew. "We are small in number, and our weapons are not as powerful as theirs. But the Thresians rely on fear and speed. If we think fast, move smart, and strike where they do not expect, we can become a threat they cannot ignore. This is our chance to prove humans are not weak." Lieutenant Mara spread star charts across the table. "We have identified a cluster of Thresian supply stations near the Arden system. Their patrols are light there, but they are crucial for their operations. A strike here could slow their expansion and give other species hope." Ryan nodded. "We will not destroy everything. We will target their systems carefully, so they feel fear but do not overestimate our strength. Precision is more important than destruction." The crew trained relentlessly. Pilots practiced weaving through asteroid fields to avoid detection. Engineers worked on weapons that could exploit Thresian energy fields. Every member of the Valor prepared for a dangerous mission, but there was a growing sense of confidence. The humans knew they were taking a risk, yet their strategy and unity gave them courage. As the Valor approached the edge of Thresian space, Ryan reflected on what lay ahead. The Thresians had never lost. They believed their empire was untouchable. But every empire has weaknesses, and humans had learned to find them. The quiet work on Arden, the careful study of drones, and the endless planning gave humans a chance the galaxy had never seen. In the darkness of space, the Valor moved like a shadow. Sensors scanned the nearby star systems, detecting Thresian patrols and communication signals. Ryan's crew worked silently, sharing information, calculating distances, and preparing for the first strike. Every small success built confidence. Every adjustment made their mission more likely to succeed. Meanwhile, the Thresians noticed minor disruptions in their outer patrols. A few drones disappeared unexpectedly, communication signals faltered for moments, and supply routes were delayed. Their officers reported these events, but their leaders ignored them. "Humans cannot challenge us," they said. "These are small mistakes, nothing more." The humans knew better. Each small disruption was a step toward a larger goal. Each strike, no matter how minor, gave them information about THRECN defenses and weaknesses. The crew of the Valor worked with precision, learning more about their enemy with every move. They were quiet, but their presence was a threat growing stronger every day. On the bridge, Ryan addressed the crew. The THRECNs think we are weak. They do not see our planning, our courage, or our teamwork. Every small victory teaches us more. Every strike reminds them that humans are not easy to defeat. Keep focus. Stay calm. Think fast. We are not just fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for every planet that cannot defend itself. Humanity is the spark of hope for the galaxy. The humans moved carefully, silently, and purposefully. They struck with precision, avoiding unnecessary risks, yet demonstrating skill and intelligence. Slowly, word of their actions spread. Small THRECN patrols were disrupted, supply lines faltered, and rumors began to spread among conquered worlds. The galaxy started to notice that humans were different. And in the vast reaches of space, the THRECNs remained unaware that a quiet threat was growing. A single warship with a determined crew was learning their weaknesses, planning its strikes, and proving that humans could stand against an empire that had dominated galaxies effortlessly. The Valor moved forward into the darkness, ready for the first real challenge. The quiet work of preparation was ending. The time for action was coming. Humanity, small but clever, was about to show the galaxy what it could do. The Valor glided silently through the outskirts of Thryxian-controlled space. Commander Ryan stood on the bridge, watching the starfield pass by. Every crew member moved with focus. This was the moment humans would face the Empire directly for the first time. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and in enemy territory, yet determination burned in every eye. Humans had no fear of giving up. Their strength lay in their intelligence, teamwork, and courage. The sensors beeped as THRECN patrols appeared. Massive warships, their dark hulls glowing with energy weapons, moved in formation. These ships had never encountered resistance like humans offered. The THRECNs assumed that any species that reached this far would surrender or flee. They were wrong. Ryan calmly gave orders. Pilots, maintain formation. Prepare evasive maneuvers. Engineers, monitor their shields. Weapons, be ready but wait for my signal. Lieutenant Mara adjusted her console. Commander, we are detected. They are locking on. Ryan nodded. Good. That means our plan is working. We will not fight like they expect. Follow the strategy. Strike smart, strike fast, and withdraw before they can react. The Valor split into smaller groups, using asteroid fields as cover. Human pilots weaved between massive rocks, hiding from THRECN sensors. Drones patrolled nearby, scanning for signs of life, but the humans' speed and clever movement kept them unseen. The first attack was meant not to destroy but to test. Small energy pulses disabled a few THRECN drones near a supply station. The THRECNs noticed briefly, but their overconfidence made them dismiss it as a minor glitch. Signal from drone cluster, said Ensign Caro. They are attempting to regroup. Ryan leaned forward. Good. That is our chance. Target the weak points. Use precision. Remember, we are small but smart. The humans' weapons fired, focusing on shield generators and energy conduits. Explosions flashed across the battlefield, small but effective. The THRECNs scrambled, realizing their forces were disorganized. They had never experienced resistance like this. Every hit the humans made demonstrated strategy, timing, and knowledge. The Thryxians' assumption that humans were weak began to crack. In the chaos, Mara piloted the Valor through a narrow corridor between two massive asteroids. Commander, their main fleet is reacting, moving toward us, she reported. Ryan considered the options. We do not run. We do not panic. Use the environment. Lead them into the asteroid field. Their size will slow them. Precision is our advantage. The humans moved quickly. Their smaller ships darted between asteroids, firing at Threcn vessels' weak points. Larger warships struggled to follow, their size making them clumsy. Human engineers calculated trajectories, anticipating enemy movement with incredible accuracy. The Threcns fired indiscriminately, but their shots missed most targets. Every move the humans made was calculated, intelligent, and fast. After several tense minutes, the first encounter ended. The Threcns retreated, surprised by the humans' skill and ingenuity. They had never met a species capable of outmaneuvering them in direct combat. Across the galaxy, news of the Valor's first strike began to spread. For the first time, a spark of hope appeared for oppressed worlds. Back on the bridge, Ryan addressed his crew. This is only the beginning. We have shown them that humans are not easy to defeat. Every system we engage, every mission we complete, makes them more cautious. We are small, but our minds are powerful. Today, we proved that courage and intelligence can match raw strength. The crew cheered quietly. They knew this was only the first battle. Many more challenges awaited them. But they also knew that the Threcns could be resisted. Humans were underestimated, and that was their greatest advantage. Meanwhile, in the Threcn command center, officers argued. How is this possible? One demanded. A single human ship disrupted our patrols and forced our fleet to retreat. Their leader observed silently. We cannot underestimate humans. They are small, but clever. Prepare new defenses. This species is different. They think in ways we did not predict. We must adapt, or they may become a real threat. Ryan and his crew had no way of knowing that the Threcns were beginning to change their tactics. What mattered was the human success in the moment. They had survived, tested the enemy, and returned with valuable intelligence. Every minor victory built confidence, skill, and hope. As the Valor left the asteroid field and returned to open space, Ryan looked at the crew. This is a quiet reminder of what we can do. The Threcns think they are unstoppable. Today, we proved they are not. Humans are resourceful, courageous, and unstoppable when we work together. Remember this feeling. We will need it for the battles ahead. The first encounter was over, but the war was just beginning. Across the galaxy, oppressed worlds now whispered the name of the humans who dared to challenge the Threcns. The spark of hope had been lit, and it would not fade. Humanity had shown that intelligence, courage, and teamwork could face even the greatest empire. And in the darkness of space, the Threcns realized that they had met a species unlike any other. After the first encounter, the humans of the Valor knew they had made history. For the first time, a human warship had faced the Threcns directly and survived. Commander Ryan studied the reports carefully. Every attack, every move, and every small success had revealed weaknesses in the Threcn tactics. The Threcns were powerful, but they had flaws, and humans could use them to their advantage. Lieutenant Mara stood beside him. Commander, our analysis shows a major weakness in their communication network. If we can disrupt it, their fleets will lose coordination. They will be vulnerable, even with their numbers. Ryan nodded. That is the key. We cannot match them in size or firepower, but we can outsmart them. Our plan must be precise, and we must act quickly. Every delay gives them time to adapt. The crew worked tirelessly, preparing for their boldest mission yet. Engineers modified energy devices to interfere with Threcn signals. Pilots practiced maneuvers to avoid detection in heavily patrolled systems. Every crew member understood the risk, but no one hesitated. Humans were small in number, but they were determined to make a difference. The target was a heavily guarded Threcn system, a critical hub where fleets were commanded and supplies moved across the galaxy. A direct attack would be suicidal, but Ryan had a plan. The Valor would act as a stealth vessel, infiltrating the system and disabling the central communication hub. Meanwhile, smaller Allied ships would create diversions, drawing attention away from the main strike. As the Valor approached the system, sensors detected dozens of Threcn ships. They moved with confidence, expecting no real resistance. Their arrogance was evident in their slow, methodical formation. Ryan gave quiet orders. All units, follow the plan. Precision over power. Speed over force. We strike, we disable, and we retreat before they can respond. The Valor slipped through the outer defenses, using asteroid belts and energy clouds as cover. Small bursts of energy from human weapons disabled a few drones, just enough to avoid drawing attention. The Threcns reacted slowly, underestimating the humans again. Every crew member remained focused, knowing that one mistake could mean disaster. Lieutenant Mara guided the ship through a narrow pass. "Commander, we are approaching the hub. Sensors show minimal shielding on the control arrays. This is our chance." Ryan studied the displays. "Deploy the disruption device. Target the central array first. Everything depends on precision." Engineers activated the device, and a controlled pulse surged toward the hub. The Threcn network flickered, communication signals faltered, and fleets became disorganized. For the first time, the Threcn struggled to coordinate their forces. Ships that had been moving in perfect formation now collided, fired at the wrong targets, or retreated in confusion. "Status?" Ryan asked, his voice calm but urgent. Mara reported, "Device is active. Their fleet is confused. We have created a window of opportunity. We can escape while they recover." The Valor moved swiftly, leading the retreat through the chaos. Smaller human ships emerged from hiding, striking at disorganized Threcn patrols and then retreating before counterattacks could be organized. The human strategy was working. They were small, but their planning and precision allowed them to control the battle. In the aftermath, the Threcns were forced to retreat to regroup. Their arrogance had been shattered. For the first time, they faced a species that could outthink them. Across occupied planets, news of the human attack spread. Civilians whispered about the small warship that had disrupted the Empire. Hopes rose, and oppressed worlds began to believe that the Threcns were not invincible. Ryan gathered his crew on the bridge. "Today, we have done more than disrupt a fleet. We have sent a message. Humans are capable, intelligent, and determined. Other species will see this and gain courage. The galaxy is waking up, and we are the spark." Mara smiled. "We have shown them they can be resisted, Commander. That is more important than any victory in numbers." Ryan nodded. "Exactly. We will not fight blindly. Every battle we choose, every system we strike, strengthens us and weakens them. The Threcns will learn, but we will be ready. Strategy, intelligence, and courage are our weapons. We are not just surviving, we are leading the way for the galaxy." As the Valor returned to friendly space, the crew felt a sense of achievement. They had risked everything and succeeded. The humans' quiet, careful strikes had changed the balance. The Threcns, once confident and unstoppable, now faced a species that refused to be dominated. The galaxy had taken notice. Humans were no longer insignificant. They were clever, brave, and capable of turning the tide of a seemingly unstoppable empire. And with every mission, the spark of hope grew stronger, promising that one day, even the mightiest empire could be challenged and overcome. The Valor prepared for its next mission, ready to continue striking with precision and courage. The battle had been won, but the war was far from over. humanity had begun its journey to prove that intelligence, unity, and bravery could face even the greatest power in the galaxy. The Valor glided silently through the outer edge of the THRECN system. Commander Ryan studied the holographic map of the enemy hub. This mission was the most dangerous they had attempted. The hub was heavily guarded, and one mistake could mean the loss of the ship and crew. Yet every member of the Valor was determined. Humans had shown they could resist the Empire, but now they needed to strike decisively. Lieutenant Mara turned to Ryan. "Commander, their fleet is larger than before. Sensors detect multiple patrol groups around the hub. Any attack will be noticed immediately." Ryan nodded. "We do not fight them head-on. We use stealth, speed, and precision. Our goal is the central command array. Once it is disabled, their entire system will falter. The rest will follow. Focus on the mission. Everything else is secondary." The crew moved quickly. Pilots checked their maneuvering thrusters. Engineers monitored energy systems. Weapons specialists calibrated the ship's pulse disruptors. Every system was tested. Every crew member understood the stakes. They were small, but their intelligence and preparation gave them power no one expected. As the Valor approached the hub, human pilots spread out in small attack formations. Their ships darted between asteroid belts, using every obstacle to avoid detection. The THRECN patrols scanned carefully, but humans were clever, unpredictable, and fast. The element of surprise was on their side. "Commander, shields are holding," reported Engineer Caro. "Systems are stable. We are ready to deploy the disruption device." Ryan studied the target. The command array was protected by a ring of energy barriers, guarded by multiple warships. "Deploy the device now," he ordered. "Mara, take the lead and guide us through the defenses. Every second counts." The device activated, sending a pulse toward the central hub. Energy fields flickered as the THRECN system struggled to maintain control. For the first time, fleets that had dominated galaxies were uncoordinated. Ships collided, fired at the wrong targets, and retreated in confusion. The humans' plan was working. "Status, Mara?" Ryan asked. "Central array disrupted," she replied. "The fleet is in chaos. We have a small window to escape." The humans acted quickly. They navigated through the confusion, targeting weak points in smaller THRECN vessels to slow them down. Allied ships created diversions, firing at key patrols before retreating into hiding. Every move was precise. Every action was calculated. The THRECNs could not anticipate human thinking, and that was their advantage. In the enemy command center, alarms blared. THRECN officers shouted orders, but the fleets moved blindly. "What is happening?" demanded one officer. "Our systems are failing. Communications are down. How can a single human ship cause this?" Their leader observed silently, eyes narrowing. "Humans are not what we expected. They think differently. Prepare new defenses. Adapt quickly. They cannot be ignored." Back on the Valor, Ryan gave the final command. "All ships, retreat. Stay together. Do not take unnecessary risks. We have done what we came to do. Now we live to fight another day." The crew executed the retreat flawlessly. Pilots weaved through asteroid fields, dodging enemy fire. Engineers monitored systems to prevent overheating. Weapons specialists covered the rear, ensuring no THRECN ship could catch them. Every action demonstrated skill, intelligence, and teamwork. Humans were small, but their courage and planning allowed them to escape unharmed. When the Valor returned to safe space, the crew breathed a sigh of relief. They had completed a mission no one thought possible. They had struck directly at the heart of the THRECN Empire and survived. Across occupied planets, news of their bold attack spread. Humans had become a symbol of hope for species oppressed by the Thresians. Ryan addressed his crew on the bridge. Today, we did more than attack a hub. We showed the galaxy that humans are clever, brave, and capable of changing the course of war. Other species will see this and gain courage. The Thresians will rethink their strategies. We have begun to turn the tide. Mara smiled. We showed them that numbers are not everything. Strategy and intelligence can defeat raw power. Ryan nodded. Exactly. This is only the beginning. Every move we make will teach them to respect humans. Every mission will inspire hope across the galaxy. Remember this feeling. It will guide us in the battles ahead. The humans of the Valor had achieved the impossible. They had disrupted the most secure system of a galaxy-spanning empire. They had survived and returned stronger, more confident, and ready for the next challenge. The Thresians, once unstoppable, had now learned that humans were not a species to underestimate. The galaxy had begun to see humans as more than a small, insignificant species. They were clever, courageous, and relentless. And with every mission, the spark of hope spread, promising that even the most powerful empire could be challenged and defeated. As the Valor prepared for its next mission, the crew understood one thing clearly. Humans had shown what intelligence, teamwork, and courage could achieve. The bold attack was just the beginning, and the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy was changing. Rumors of humans striking the mighty Thresians spread across star systems. Commander Ryan and the crew of the Valor had achieved what no one thought possible. They had disrupted the heart of a galaxy-spanning empire, proving that humans could resist and even outsmart the Thresians. But this victory was only the beginning. The Thresians, once confident and unstoppable, were now scrambling to adapt. Their fleets, previously coordinated and precise, moved with hesitation. Officers questioned every order, unsure if humans might be hiding traps or planning clever strategies. Planets that had surrendered without a fight now showed signs of rebellion. Even smaller species, inspired by human courage, began to resist in quiet ways. On the bridge of the Valor, Ryan studied incoming reports. The Thresians are disorganized, he said. Patrols are scattered, communication lines are faltering, and supply routes are delayed. We must act carefully, but we have a real opportunity to expand our influence and help others. Lieutenant Mara pointed to a cluster of nearby occupied planets. Commander, many worlds are ready to resist. They just need guidance and coordination. Our presence could inspire a large-scale rebellion. Ryan nodded. We will provide more than hope. We will give them strategy, timing, and the courage to fight. Humans cannot conquer entire empires, but we can ignite a resistance that no one can ignore. The crew worked tirelessly. Engineers developed portable devices to disrupt enemy communications on smaller scales, allowing resistance groups on planets to act without immediate retaliation. Pilots trained for fast strike missions, ready to hit key targets and retreat before the Thresians could respond. Every human action was deliberate, precise, and calculated. Their next mission targeted a heavily fortified supply line. The Thresians relied on it to deliver weapons, fuel, and resources to their fleets. Disrupting it would slow their operations and inspire confidence among oppressed populations. Ryan and Mara planned the attack carefully, analyzing enemy patrols, energy fields, and weak points. This must be quick, Ryan explained. We cannot risk unnecessary confrontation. Hit the targets, create confusion, and retreat. The Thresians are learning to fear humans, but we must remain smarter than they expect. The Valor launched the strike at night, using asteroid belts and dark space clouds to remain hidden. Small human teams targeted key depots, disabling supplies and communication relays. The Thresians reacted slowly, and the humans withdrew before they could mount a counterattack. Each successful strike demonstrated human precision, intelligence, and courage. As the rebellion grew, oppressed worlds began coordinating their efforts. They no longer waited silently for THRECN commands. With human guidance, small fleets and resistance cells attacked supply lines, communication hubs, and patrols. Humans were the spark, but other species provided the fuel. The galaxy slowly awakened to the realization that the THRECNs were not invincible. In the THRECN command centers, confusion spread. "Why are the humans everywhere?" demanded one officer. "They are small in number, yet their attacks are precise and coordinated. How can a single species challenge the entire empire?" Their leader observed silently, analyzing the patterns. "Humans are different. They are not predictable. Their courage inspires others. Prepare new defenses, but understand this: humans are clever. They cannot be ignored. Adapt quickly or lose control of our holdings." Back on the Valor, Ryan addressed his crew. "Today, the galaxy has learned an important lesson. Strategy, intelligence, and courage can challenge raw power. The THRECNs may dominate with numbers, but humans and those who follow our example can resist. Every small victory strengthens our allies, weakens the enemy, and brings hope to the galaxy." Mara smiled. "We are showing the galaxy what is possible. Planets that thought they were powerless now fight back. Every strike, every mission, inspires others to rise." Ryan nodded. "Exactly. Humans have never been the strongest in numbers, but we have always found ways to overcome challenges. Now, the entire galaxy is learning that lesson. We fight not just with weapons, but with intelligence, courage, and unity. That is how we turn the tide." The Valor continued its missions, striking key targets and providing guidance to resistance cells. Each successful operation further weakened THRECN control, and each failure taught humans valuable lessons. The THRECNs, once confident in their invincibility, now faced resistance at every turn. They began to respect human strategy and intelligence, realizing that their empire could crumble if they underestimated humans again. Across the galaxy, hope spread. Humans had become the symbol of resistance, the spark that lit courage in oppressed species. They showed that even a small number could challenge a mighty empire through planning, unity, and bravery. The THRECN stumbled, shaken by a species they had dismissed as insignificant. Ryan watched the stars from the bridge. "We have started something bigger than ourselves. Every mission, every strike, brings the galaxy closer to freedom. Humans are not the strongest physically, but we are clever, courageous, and unstoppable when we work together. The empire may be vast, but intelligence and determination always find a way." The Valor prepared for its next mission, ready to continue the fight. The THRECNs had learned to respect humans, but humans had learned even more: they had the power to change the galaxy. The empire stumbled, and the humans of the Valor led the way toward a new future. The galaxy was changing faster than anyone could have imagined. Once, the THRECNs ruled with absolute power, dominating planets and civilizations with ease. Now, their empire was shaken. The humans of the Valor, led by Commander Ryan and Lieutenant Mara, had not only survived the mightiest fleet in the galaxy but had shown that intelligence, courage, and unity could challenge any empire. The crew of the Valor prepared for their next mission. Unlike before, they were no longer fighting only for themselves. Entire worlds now looked to them for guidance. Humans were the spark of hope, the example that resistance was possible. Every mission mattered, every victory inspired countless others, and every plan had consequences that reached far beyond their immediate objectives. Ryan studied the star charts. "The THRECNs are regrouping," he said. "But they are slower, less coordinated, and unsure. This is our chance to strike at key targets, to further weaken their control, and to give freedom to as many planets as we can." Mara nodded. We have allies now. Resistance cells across multiple systems are ready to act. With our guidance, they can strike where we cannot go ourselves. The Valor moved swiftly through the galaxy. Smaller human-led fleets coordinated attacks across multiple star systems. Every engagement was strategic, carefully planned, and executed with precision. Supply lines were disrupted, communication arrays disabled, and patrols outmaneuvered. The Thresians, once confident in their empire's invincibility, found themselves facing challenges on multiple fronts. They had never expected such clever resistance from humans or the species they inspired. Across the occupied planets, civilians rose. They sabotaged Thresian operations, shared intelligence with human-led teams, and supported local rebellions. What had begun as a single warship's mission had grown into a galaxy-wide movement. Ryan and his crew realized that their actions were more than combat, they were shaping the future of countless civilizations. In the Thresian command centers, frustration and confusion spread. Officers shouted orders that were ignored, fleets collided, and communication failures left their forces vulnerable. The humans had forced the Thresians to fight in ways they had never encountered. Their arrogance had become their weakness. Ryan addressed his crew on the bridge. "Look at what we have achieved. We started small, with a single ship, but we have shown that courage, intelligence, and teamwork can challenge even the strongest empire. Every planet we help, every fleet we disrupt, is a step toward freedom. Humanity is not only surviving, we are leading the galaxy toward hope." Mara smiled. "They underestimated us, and that is their mistake. Humans have always found ways to adapt, to think creatively, and to fight with purpose. We are small in numbers, but our minds and hearts are powerful. That is our greatest strength." The Thresians realized that they could no longer dominate easily. Their fleets were fewer, their supply lines disrupted, and their strategies countered at every turn. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy saw the Empire as vulnerable. And at the center of this change were humans, clever and courageous, inspiring others to rise. The Valor led the final coordinated strikes against critical Thresian strongholds. Every action was deliberate and precise. Planets that had once been under complete control of the Empire now fought for their freedom, guided by humans and their allies. The Thresians faced defeat not because of a single overwhelming attack, but because of the humans' intelligence, strategy, and unwavering determination. As the dust settled after the battles, the galaxy began to rebuild. Freed worlds celebrated their independence, forming alliances with humans and other species who had resisted the Thresians. Commander Ryan stood on the bridge of the Valor, looking out at the stars. "We have done more than fight," he said. "We have proven that no empire, no matter how powerful, can ignore intelligence, courage, and determination. Humans have left a mark on the galaxy that will be remembered for generations." Mara joined him. "We have inspired others to believe in themselves, to rise against oppression. That is our true victory. Numbers and weapons can only take you so far. What truly changes the galaxy is hope and determination." Across the stars, the humans' reputation spread. They were no longer just a small species in a vast galaxy, they were leaders, teachers, and symbols of courage. The Thresians, humbled and aware of humans' capabilities, respected them as worthy adversaries. Humanity's legacy was secure. The Valor continued to patrol and protect the newly freed systems, ensuring that peace and freedom endured. Humans had not only survived, they had led the way, proving that even against impossible odds, courage, intelligence, and unity could reshape the galaxy. And so, the galaxy remembered the humans who had dared to challenge an empire. Their story was a reminder that no matter how small or underestimated a species might seem, the power of the mind and heart could change the course of history. Humanity had not only resisted, they had inspired hope, sparked freedom, and left a legacy that would shine across the stars forever.